I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I very much do not want a copyright strike. Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about the AkBolto because I finally managed to get a decent ribbon for it, which is the AkBolto Crita-Decican. It's not perfect, but the stats on it are pretty good. We have status duration, crit chance and multi-shot. The AkBolto, more specifically AkBolto Prime, were always kind of meh when it came to dealing damage because they're good at doing upfront damage, and upfront damage has not been the best for quite a while now. The only way to really scale damage out of these into like a later game was with a vital and heat build. That was pretty much it. They don't have a lot of innate slice, so you can't use that. They're secondary, so no hunter munitions, and they don't have enough impact for hemorrhage either. Now don't get me wrong, they were pretty fun in the normal game, on the normal star chart, but once you took them into Steel Path, they would fall off pretty hard. But nowadays we have another option that we can go for with these kinds of weapons, which is to go heavy into crit with corrosive and cold. So I wanted to see how far I can push the AkBolto Prime with a proper setup and a ribbon on top just for good measure, because I really wanted to use them in Steel Path. So I hopped over to Teshin to spend my last remaining steel essence to get an adapter, and I put together a big boy hybrid crit build. And right off the bat, the damage was actually pretty good. I was quite happy with this, but unfortunately the fire rate was way too low because I chose to replace a lethal torrent with my ribbon. So not only was I losing fire rate with creeping bullseye, I was not getting any extra fire rate from lethal torrent. At first I actually took out galvanized shot and replaced it with gunslinger because I wanted to try it with way more fire rate, which felt good, but the damage was quite lacking and I was also missing quite a bit of extra status chance. So in the end I just finagled the polarities around and I ended up running primed pistol gambit instead of creeping bullseye. And this is the build that I ended up using. This is something that I do a lot and you don't necessarily see it in videos all that often. I like to play around with as many different variations of the setups as I can think of to figure out which variation I like the most. So the next time you see me using a suboptimal mod and you're like, why wouldn't you just use that instead? The answer most likely is, well, because I like the way this one feels more. Though of course that's not always the case. Sometimes I just have a wee bit of a brain fart and I just use a bad mod. That can happen as well. But anyway, with this crit hybrid setup, the AkBolto Prime can actually do some pretty decent damage even in Steel Path. It starts to fall off right around level 120 or 130 in Steel Path because of Eximus units. Eximus units are just way too beefy for this gun. But for me, that's not that big of a deal because I usually have a strong melee weapon on me, so I can take care of the Eximus units that way. Plus, you also proc a little bit of impact with the AkBolto Prime, so you open the enemies up to Parazon finishers much earlier. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the result here. The damage isn't crazy high, but it's good enough for the kind of stuff that I do. Because honestly, I don't do that much Steel Path. I will do the alerts that give me extra essence, then I will do fissures in Steel Path, because why not? And outside of that, it's pretty much just circuit. And in circuit, you only need a certain amount of power to make a weapon viable because of all the decrease you can get. Circuit is actually one of the reasons why I'm going through all of these weapons again, because I see so many fun weapons in circuit, but I just have boring builds on them. So I never end up picking them, and I just want to make as many weapons fun so that no matter what I get in the circuit, I'm gonna have some fun with it. But anyway, I would recommend you give the AkBolto Prime a shot. Again, it's not the best weapon in the world, and it does need a ribbon for that a little bit of extra oomph for Steel Path, but it's still a very fun weapon. I like it a lot. Now, if you don't have a ribbon, it's not that big of a deal, because you can help the weapon in other ways. If you run this on Frost, for example, and you strip away the enemy armor, and you chill them, and you freeze them, and you get extra crit on them, this weapon is going to absolutely shred. And that is pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video and you will give the AkBolto Prime another shot, because it is very fun indeed. I would like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support. And if you would like to become a channel member as well, you can check out the memberships and stuff down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.